Next, Peter from Poland. He says, what is the best way to have the correct NAP citation on a local WordPress website and all other sites if I have a GMB listing? Well, if you have the GMB listing, he says, do I just copy and paste the text directly from the GMB listing exactly and paste it in my own WordPress site? Okay, well, Peter from Poland, if you're doing stuff in the US, then I recommend going to the USPS.com, which is United States Postal Service.com, and go over here to look up a zip code. And then you go find by address or cities. Yeah, I think it's find by address. And then you put in the actual address of the GMB listing. Just copy it, street address, paste it in, city, state, zip code, postal code. Just paste it in and then click find. And what happens is it's going to show you the standardized formatting, the correct formatting based upon the USPS standardization, address standardization. Right? That should be the way that you should have it listed in Google My Business. At least that's the way I do it, guys. I'm sure there's going to be some other people out there that say they do it differently, but that's how I've always done it. I learned this trick many years ago, I think from Ivan Budimir, and I've been doing it this way ever since. Okay, and a lot of times, even if I take over a client, like if I've got a client that had an existing GMB, but they had it displayed incorrectly, or they didn't have the correct standardized addressed format, I'll go in and update it in Google My Business. And then I'll even do I'll do a citation cleanup campaign to go have all the existing citations on the web updated to the correct standardized format. And it's only because that's the way that the addresses are supposed to be listed. So I would recommend first making sure you have the standardized address format. Then I would go in and update the GMB. If it's not correct, I would update it in GMB. And then I would your Google My Business profile, and then I would go and start using that exact same format for all of your citations. If you have existing citations that are incorrect, I would recommend that you update those before building new citations. That's always the better thing to do. Instead of diluting bad data, fix the bad data, right? And then as far as your website, really the only thing you need to do on your website, if it's a service area business and I just talked about this, where the business goes to the customers, there's really no reason for you to display the address on your website. You can still post it using structured data, right? So that would be going the HTML header of the site if you're using JSON-LD, structured data markup. And we've got a structured data generator in SERP if you want to use that to generate the code that goes in the HTML header. If you do have a point of sale business or a storefront, then you could you could still add the JSON-LD, local business markup, which I highly recommend that you do regardless of what type of business you have. But then you could also just use like a little footer widget or sidebar widget with it lists your name, address, and phone number as well. Right there, that can just be flat out plain text. It doesn't have to be formatted any particular way, because all the correct the location relevancy is in the JSON-LD and the header of the site. Google's going to come read that via the code, and it will be fine. It doesn't need to be displayed on your site unless, like I said, you have a storefront and you want your customers to be able to see it, in which case you just put it in the sidebar, the widget, or on the contact page or whatever. And also, I would recommend that you would then also take your map, your GMB map, and get the embed code for that and embed that into your sidebar or footer of your website as well. So you have your actual GMB map embedded on your site too. Okay. Good question though.